Okay, hi, thank you. We are here today for a special edition of Off the Couch News.
I did not formally introduce myself. So I'm Ashley Pearson. I'm a certified life coach, and I specialize in helping introverted women walk in their authority, find their voice, live a fulfilling life, and just create the life, career, success that they desire. With introvert, I tend to deal with more introverted people because I started out really focusing on highly sensitive women, people with empathic abilities, and then what I discovered was that about 70% of these women were introverted. And so society talks more about introverted individuals, so I figured I would focus on them. I knew some highly sensitive and empathic women would come along the way as well, and so I do the majority of this online, and recently I've been trying to branch out and do networking events. I have a vendor and speaking engagement coming up on December the 22nd in Raleigh.
Where is it going to be at? Give us our information.
So the details are still being worked out on that, but you can reach me on my website. It's www.ashleypage, like page in a book, pearson.com, or you can email me, ashley@ashleypagepearson.com.
In our local news, there has been some things that have happened over the past couple of weeks that I feel just as a female, as a woman in this community, we do need to address the situation. A principal of ours was actually accused of having inappropriate relationships with one of his students. The young girl was 12 years old. From what I understand, from what's happened, he was contacted by one of the child's parents and was told that the parent, knew that something was going on. The child revealed it to them. And from there, the principal proceeded to go meet the parent, but the principal actually left the school and never returned. They actually found him deceased in the woods. They're ruling it as a suicide at this time. And I know the community has been devastated. It's very taboo to talk about. You don't want to hurt the young girl who was involved. You don't want her to feel like things were her fault. Since he's transcended, you can't talk to him or put him on trial. So it's like everybody's left up in the air. And I'm not even going to say left up in the air because there are people who truly know the truth. The young girl and her family and the administrators know the truth. And I don't think it's for us as the community to worry about what the truth is, but I think for us to look at it as a situation to be aware. What is the lesson we are supposed to learn as a community from this situation happening? And I think the most important thing that we need to learn, especially as women, is we can't control how men act, or we can't control their lust. But we do have to be aware of how to carry ourselves and how to pick up on the signs. We have to put the confidence in our girls to carry themselves in a way to know that, hey, when an older man approaches you, you need to know how to walk away. You need to know how to pick up on the signs, because there's always things that happens before they touch you or before anything physical happens. It's a conversation. It's the way they look at you. It's the way they move around you. And because we're not aware and we're not having those conversations with our daughters, they don't know how to avoid those things. They don't even know how to pick up on lustful old men. When we were younger, we knew, hey, don't hug Mr. So-and-so, he does this, or you even told your mom, when I hug Mr. So-and-so, I feel weird or something ain't right. We have an intuition, and we need to start teaching our daughters to pay attention to that. And I think another thing as administrators, as teachers, we already do have a lot on us, but we need to pay attention more. As adults, it should not have gotten as far as it got if we were being aware. We should have been paying attention to the little signs. What has changed in the little girl? As parents, are we checking their phones every day? Are we blocking things on their phones? Are we watching who they're talking to? One of the things I think for me, especially having a daughter, is when the older they get, we think they're free. But really, that's when you need to spend more time with them. That middle school age, they do not need to be with their peers more because they want to be, because that is the training ground for the thought process for the rest of their life. And our young girls, even our cheerleaders, we promote sexuality, and I'm never saying that any woman deserves to be raped or any girl deserves, you know, a mistreatment because of anything. She should be able to wear whatever she wants. But why do you want to show your body off like that? Why do you want people to see that much of you? So that's the whole point of how a man can be triggered to think she wants it, because you did want people to see you when you came out, and you wanted them to see how cute your shape was, and you wanted to see how big your butt was, and you wanted to see how, you know, full your breasts were, and you wanted to shake and show them how it might look to actually sleep with you because you're dancing as if you're having sex. So what do you think is going to happen? So as women, we, you know, this whole Me Too movement, Me Too, Me Too. Well, how about Me Too will act like a lady and I'll cover myself up and I won't promote sexual behavior to men. I will make him have to see me as a different entity, because everywhere he looks, it won't be an opportunity for him to have these lustful thoughts, because if I'm not giving off the energy of lust, his lust can't be fed. Certain people just won't approach you if you carry yourself a certain way as a woman. And that's what we need to teach our daughters. No, I'm not ever saying a woman deserves to be raped. But when we are looking at spiritually, and that's the issue we don't teach our children and we totally ignore in life, everything moves by spirit. And spirit is nothing but your consciousness, because it literally gives off just the, I'm not going to get to the deep science, but if I'm giving off the intention and the energy, if I want people to look at me and want me in a sexual way, what's going to come to me? That energy. So as a community, let's look at this situation and choose to teach our children something different about sex, first of all. Have the conversation about sex, and let us as adults begin to remove our own lust and begin to see sex for the pure thing that it should be. And then you won't have so much perversion. And I mean, if you were just at the school before the principal, just weeks before he transcended, you just had the administrators complaining about the inappropriate touching, the students getting caught in the bathroom, the girls over here. Well, it's the leadership. The energy that the leadership carries trickles down through the whole school. So when you have leadership in a certain energy, it's going to trickle down to everyone in the school, and it's going to say it's okay. So until we get back to the true nature of who we are, we're so woke, we're so conscious, but don't we understand that consciousness is spirit? It's not religion, it's spirit. And that means understanding our energy. And as women, we need to come back to a nurturing energy, a pure energy, and teaching our daughters how to protect themselves and how to pick up on the signs ahead of time and not be flattered by the lustful acts of men. Because when you're young and you just learn to be a woman, you almost are flattered when an older man likes you or tells you you're pretty. So because your mind is in such a vain place, because you haven't been taught balance in vanity and what a true beauty is, which comes from the inside and not your outside, then this lustful beast has a door to come in. So Miss Ashley, what are some of your thoughts on this?
I have a lot to say about this.
So, I completely agree with everyone. Is it?
Okay, so just hold it here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I have a lot to say about that. I completely agree. Young girls are that put themselves on display, and women, consequently, it's all they're seeking attention, they're seeking approval because they never really learn to love themselves, their mind, what they have to offer outside of the shape that they have, or the compliments that people are giving them about their hair, about their body, about their dressiness. And so the internal foundation wasn't established.
Right.
So they seek external validation, and the external validation brings the energy vampires. I'm sure you've heard of energy vampires. It brings these type of people that are pulling on you, they see you, they're lustful, and that's all they want from you.
Right.
And so no one deserves to be raped, but also women, mothers, we need to teach our daughters how to honor themselves early. Mm-hmm. I know for myself, I have a daughter too, she's 7 years old, and the older she gets, I start to think about these things because I remember my experiences growing up as a child. And you know, as a teenager, and whenever you're a more shapely child, you have attention from older men, and at that age it is very fun. You're like, oh, okay, well, somebody does like me, especially if you didn't get that type of attention that you needed from other male figures in your life, and it becomes an epidemic that we need to address so that it doesn't keep happening. It's nothing wrong with being sexy and alluring and all this, but there is a time and a place. It's not all that we have to offer.
Right.
And we have to position ourselves as women for men to see, hey, she's more than just a sexual object.
Right.
There's something deeper inside of her. There's something that I can learn from her. There's something that we can do together, instead of just saying, hey, I want to lay down with this woman. You know, lust happens, but I completely agree. It starts from the head. What are we showing? How are we carrying ourselves as men and women? And so, yeah, completely agree.
That's awesome. And Miss Ashley is, you are a published author, and what else do you do?
So, yes, I do apologize. I did not formally introduce myself. So, I'm Ashley Pearson. I'm a certified life coach, and I specialize in helping introverted women walk in their authority, find their voice, live a fulfilling life, and just create the life, career, success that they desire. With introvert, I tend to deal with more introverted people because I started out really focusing on highly sensitive women, people with empathic abilities, and then what I discovered was that about 70% of these women were introverted. And so society talks more about introverted individuals, so I figured I would focus on them. I knew some highly sensitive and empathic women would come along the way as well, and so I do the majority of this online, and recently I've been trying to branch out and do networking events. I have a vendor and speaking engagement coming up on December the 22nd in Raleigh.
Where is it going to be at? Give us our information.
So the details are still being worked out on that, but you can reach me on my website. It's www.ashleypage, like page in a book, Pearson.com, or you can email me, ashley@ashleypagepearson.com.
That is so awesome. So I'm very thankful and grateful. I didn't know all of that information. I know you're a publisher and a life coach. So I'm very honored to meet her and have her here. I think your perspective is very much needed, and we have not just giving you some news, but some resources that you can actually contact to get some advice. How do I talk to my daughters? How, can I help them? How can I bring up certain issues? I still got issues with this. How do I talk to her about that? So that is a definite conversation in our community. And men, definitely not saying women shouldn't be sexy, but what is our standard of sexy? Why is it not sexy to see your woman in the kitchen cooking dinner, nurturing your whole family? Look at the way she feeds those children. Look at the way she cleans this house every day and make sure we can eat. And, just look how she moves. Not look at how her butt is jiggling because she's dancing to a song that's telling us to go pop Xannies and do stupid stuff. And I'm going to want to do that to every girl now who shakes her butt because I did not see anything personal sexy about her. Why aren't her elbows sexy? Why isn't the way she peels those potatoes cute? Why isn't the way she bends over when she cleans that toilet for you or sews that hem on your pants? So, men, teach your sons to value different things in women, and honestly, you'll begin to see women want to do different things. And that's a whole nother deep conversation about the roles as men and women and how it's been so crisscrossed now, and now men think women are gold diggers and women want to be so independent, and it's like, yo, we need each other, and I'm going to need you to protect me, and I'm going to need you to let me be who I need to be as well. Right. So we have to work on our family. So I think the most important thing from this situation is let's focus on family in our community. Let's focus on our individual relationships with our sons, with our daughters, with our nieces, with our nephews, and have the conversation about sexual behavior, have the conversation about what sex is, have the conversation about what love is, because sex and love are not the same thing. There is something called making love. And I don't think nobody's done that lately. So, thank you. Appreciate your time. Please contact Miss Ashley. And your information again, please just give it to us one more time.
So my information, my website is www.ashleypagepearson.com. Page is spelled Page, like page in a book.
All right. Thank you.